Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 8th fundraising event of the Obidati campaign. We're trying to get people to join the call. Dudu, the host for today's event, is having a bit of a technical issue. She's trying to join. She's going to be joining us very shortly. Omedai Shato as well is having a bit of a technical issue. She's going to be joining very shortly in the next couple of minutes. I want to welcome everyone. Ayodeji, Dose, Ike Monde, Jacobs, Jonah, Wabweze, Timona. Welcome, 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 welcome. I can see that Dudu is in, so she's going to be a co-host now. So welcome to the 8th Obidati fundraising event. As usual, we will start the occasion with the second stanza of the national anthem. Dudu, are you on?
Yes, Century. Thank you, but carry on.
Okay, good. So the second stanza of the national anthem. I will be singing it myself. You can follow.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can now.
Okay, good, good. So I'm going to be singing the second set of national anthem. O God of creation, direct our noble course, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome, welcome everyone to this event. We're building a nation where peace and justice shall reign. We are here to take back our country. We're here to invest in the future of this nation. We're here to say to the world that it's time that Nigerians from all around the world are united in one voice to ensure that we get our principal elected into office. We would always show up every day, irrespective of the number, we'd always show up, we'd always have these events and raise the needed funding to ensure that we are able to drive the campaign. So many things are already happening behind the scene. Obedience are working, procurement team, different teams are working effectively to ensure that we succeed. In the coming days, you're going to start seeing the impact of the fundings that we've raised. You'll start seeing the energy, the momentum. It's already happening already. I'm really excited. So at this juncture, I think I'm going to hand over the session to Dudu. Dudu, are you currently technically okay? Do you have your sound and everything good to go?
Okay, hello, Century. Did you just, I cut you.
Yes, I'm saying I can hand it back to you now. You can take on since you're back.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you profoundly, Century, for stepping in the gap. It's how we do it every Friday, guys. It's been an exciting week, and thank God it's a Friday, right? As we wrap up today on our campaign fundraiser. You know, Enugu and Anambra showed up strong. It's been an exciting time for me. I don't know how you all feel, but in all honesty, hope resonates afresh, anew. The birth of Nigeria, the new Nigeria, is very palpable. I can feel it, and I believe you all can. Did you all see Aisha's mad dance moves on stage in Enugu and Anambra? I know you know what I'm talking about. Oh, yes. We have just been on a roll. We've been the conversation. Indeed, we are the force. LP has taken over. We are the most formidable party. As we speak in Nigeria today, we are shaking the foundations of the establishment. And that is how we roll. I mean, I must thank everyone, the volunteers who have been mobilizing effortlessly, using their own personal resources in most cases, amidst all the threats and intimidation they receive. But their courage of conviction keeps them going as they push the message of hope using the vehicle of the Labour Party. We are excited. We feel the birth of new Nigeria. We also commend all those who contribute their time, their finances towards our campaign. May their bands never run dry. The Renus, the Magnifictudes, so many names, the Madmos that I can't mention, the few I've been able to remember, and those whose names I don't remember to say here, but are doing so much. We see their posts online. We pray that as we carry on this journey, victory is certainly ours come February 25th. I am super excited. In 2 days, our principal will be at Chatham House. We saw the powerful message Chatham House put out today in anticipation of his coming. And we know that the world is watching. Thank you, Century, for putting up our account details. It's another fundraiser. And yes, thank God it's a Friday. And the highlight for me also was when I would finally know the meaning of PDAPC, thanks to Clint the drunk. I don't know if you all caught it. He goes, God bless Peter Detti as presidential candidate. I mean, we're so blessed. From its possible to obedience, we have just been on a roll. So many catchphrases that have followed us on this journey. It's really been an exciting week. And again, thank you all who have kept faith with our Friday fundraiser. It's important that we continue to donate and contribute towards our campaign because the financial support is required to get the materials that will be put out there to continue to sensitize and mobilize and canvass for votes, as our message needs to go to all the wards down to unit levels where Nigerians need to hear about our party and our candidates, Mr. Peter Obi and Senator Datti Baba-Ahmed. Thank you all who have joined in again this week as we push towards our fundraising efforts. The floor is open. If any of you has a donation to make, feel free by a show of hands. If any of you has words of inspiration to share with us, feel free by a show of hands. And your mic will be unmuted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep going. Victory is ours. We're certain that victory is ours as we keep our eyes on the goal. Our Zenith Bank, Sterling, Heritage, and Globus Bank account details are on the screen. Feel free to donate into any of these accounts. Feel free to donate. Aisha might join us. She might not because they've been traversing the 36 states, as we all know. It was the Southeast early on. They head to Ondo again tomorrow. So it's been back-to-back movements for her. But if she's able to join us also, we'll get the report of how far we have come in fundraising. Century, I can see Ike Monday has his hand up. If you can please unmute his mic.
Ike Monday, you have the floor to speak.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is Ike Monday. I'm calling from the Netherlands. I've been following the events, and I must say thank you for all the efforts. You know, we need to take our country back, and we are en route to that. Just a little tip that we should never give up. Today, I'm happy to announce that my mother-in-law and her friend, these are ladies that are above 60, got their PVCs today after several attempts. So I'm so happy that today another 2 votes are for our principal. So adding to that, to also celebrate this, I'll also be donating to this journey. So nobody should give up. Never relent. Don't be intimidated, because it's a journey and we must get there. Thank you, everyone that has been supporting, and God will continue to bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ike Monday. We love the enthusiasm and the support that your voice have given. Thank you too for staying true. Thank you too, because indeed it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And as we carry on, I believe that as we count down to the elections, victory is certainly ours. Thank you, Ayodeji Ogunode. Thank you, Duz. Thank you, Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Thank you, Grace Onuke. Thank you, Hakim Tokumbo. Thank you, Ike Monday. Thank you, Jacobs Edo. Thank you, Joda Gary. Thank you, Jonah Johanna. Thank you, Matthew Emonena. Thank you, Maureen Kabruk. Thank you, Mwabweze Agioto. Thank you, Obishman. Thank you, Olani Ambello Sadiq. Thank you, Ovie Beniti. Thank you, Patrick Onen. Thank you, Temona D. Thank you, Teneai. Thank you, Tony Chukuma Nosike. Thank you, Victor Igberase. Thank you, Wilfred Nwabweze. Thank you, Josh Onu. Thank you, Rose Sander. Thank you all for giving of your most valuable resource, which is your time, to feature today on this platform as we continue to contribute towards our campaign. May the universe and the good forces bless you all. Thank you. You are the voice of hope. You are the courage of conviction. You all believe in the birth of a new Nigeria, and that is why you're here today. Thank you. Please, by a show of hands, if you have any word of inspiration to share, if you have a donation to make, feel free by a show of hands, and we'll unmute your mic so we hear from you. We are each other's strengths. Together we can, as we continue to forge ahead amidst all the tribulations. It wasn't going to be an easy journey. We knew that. Thank you all for staying true. Together we can. Nigeria's future and destiny lies in our hands. And yes, together we can. Who says we can't? We dare say we can. And it's why we are here today. Thank you. Thank you. Please, by a show of hands, feel free. The mic will be unmuted and we hear from you. It's how we draw strength and inspiration from each other as we carry on. Thank you. Please feel free by a show of hands to share your experiences on the streets, to share your experiences, how you have supported this campaign, either it is by your social media posts or by featuring at campaign rallies. Oh, thank you, Matthew Emonena. Please, Century, you help unmute Matthew Emonena. Century, Matthew, please, if you can hear me. Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can, Matthew. Yes, Matthew, please go on. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. I'm speaking from Bonny Island, River State, Port Harcourt.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So here we are well organized. We have the Obi movement, Obi Dati movement here, and we also have Labour Party group, and we made a lot of stickers, posters, and everything that we used to go out to give to everybody, the market square, in the street, and everywhere. And we also pledge and make contributions to do all those things. And on this platform, on my own, screenshot the bank accounts, and I believe by the grace of God that the month is going to an end before the election. I will try and pledge, no matter how small it is. I'll give my little support to support, because I can't wait for us to celebrate our victory. And before I joined this meeting, I was listening to Obasanjo on the interview they did today, and the man gave so many reasons for him to endorse Mr. Peter Obi, and I was so excited. So I'm so grateful anyway, and I can't wait to see us celebrate, because without Peter Obi and Baba Dati, this country, some of us will be heading out of this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you profoundly, Matthew. And indeed, no amount is too small. Every little counts. So no amount is too small. We're excited to hear from you, and we're excited to know that you have the intention to donate, no matter how small. Please, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
Century, please, can you unmute Sonny live? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Sonny. Please, you have the floor.
All right, it's a pleasure again to be here. I was here last time. I'm always following up. To me, Peter Obi, Yusuf Dati is a project that is like a family responsibility for us to take back our country and make sure it works for everyone. So, in terms of a donation, we are doing our best in all our social media handles, platforms. We posted it. In all our WhatsApp group, we posted it. In Twitter accounts, Facebook, and I've posted them. People, Nigerians, they respond differently, but that's not a problem. We can't force people to do that. People understand the responsibility ahead of us. A whole lot of where I come from. I'm actually in Abuja right now. I came for the conveners meeting. That was yesterday. So I'm still in Abuja. I'll be here for about a week. Usually I stay in Akwa Ibom. So in terms of work and sensitization, is steady. So to us, this is personal, it's personal. It's like we trying to rescue our country. It's like a family responsibility. You don't need anybody to let you understand the country is collapsing. It's collapsing. It's actually not collapsed. It has actually collapsed. If you don't rescue it, then there's no Nigeria for anyone. So it's a collective responsibility that we are taking in more so serious. So I'm just trying to encourage all of us that we continue to do this thing. There could be some challenges I don't want to discuss about it, because I've been on this journey from beginning. When Peter Obi was in PDP, before he entered Labour Party, we were the pioneers, obedient people on the streets, pioneer people that started. So my level of experience and wisdom and how to manage people, I've come to a level of mastery. Let's just continue to promote the positive things, because as long as human nature are concerned and they have survival challenges, they always tend to sometimes try to compete or struggle for survival, and it will affect their outcome or productivity. So I don't want to discuss about the problem and challenges around. Let's just continue try to understand that the Nigeria is an environment for us. If anything happened to that environment, nobody will be able to survive. Nobody on this planet. Nobody can survive alone. If I put you in a room and I close that room and I give you $1 zillion and I put all the food inside, in less than 7 days, you discard the money and the food, you want to come out, because we are organisms. We only function together. Although we have lost that, Nigeria, we have to rescue. For us that are committed in terms of obedience, for all of us sacrificing, doing whatever we can do, from P2B, the dirty, all of us here in this group chat, let's try as much as possible to avoid most of those little challenges. Let's always be positive and stay focused. Contribute whatever you can. If it is whatever you can, just give. Let's get Nigeria back. Every other thing will fall in place. Every other thing will fall in place. I know why I'm saying this, because I just can, like I say, I'm from the convener meeting yesterday, which was organized by the Big Tent, and from the flyer, we expected everybody to come, P2B, blah, blah, but that's not what happened. I don't want to discuss about it. But however, like I said, it's people trying to survive, and people are trying to survive. They can show their nasty nature because they don't understand the beauty of us collaborating together. We are a powerful force if we learn to collaborate. So please, let's continue to do whatever we can. I am doing this, my team are doing this, all of us are doing it. It's a daily commitment, like I said, both on social media with over 200,000 followers and on ground. It is a family responsibility. I'm using the word family, so that we understand we are not Christian, we are not Muslim, we are not this, we are not this, we are that. This is what we created to divide ourselves. We need to rescue Nigeria. Nigeria is rich enough to feed Africa. So which means there's enough for all of us. With that in mind, we can collectively just come and just sacrifice and deliver P2B. Then Nigeria will be the blessed country for all of us. Nigeria needs to stand on its feet to rescue Africa. Africa needs to wake up to rescue Mother Earth. It's a big responsibility. A lot of people don't see the bigger picture. I have seen that bigger picture. Nigeria is the only key that wake up Africa. Please, let's continue to contribute. Let's continue to do whatever we can for P2B. He is the savior, not for Nigeria, for Africa. That is the bigger picture. Our Mother Earth is bleeding. It is only Africa that will heal Mother Earth. Thank you so much and giving me the opportunity to talk. I love you all, and I wish you guys the best. Let's continue to do what they're doing. One love, man. Cheers.
One love, Sonny. One love, Sonny. You know, the key words I took from your presentation, you spoke about responsibility. You also talked about productivity. You also talked about how this campaign, this elections is personal. And you also talked about rescue. These key words are powerful. If we all stay true to these key words that formed the core of your message, then indeed the birth of new Nigeria has happened. I wouldn't even say it's possible, but it has happened. Because yes, it is personal. We have to rescue Nigeria. And in rescuing Nigeria, we have identified that Mr. Peter Obi and Senator Baba-Ahmed are the candidates. Thank you so much. And please, we encourage you to carry on with all your efforts at the grassroots level to sensitize please come by.
Hello.
Hi, Rhoda, we can hear you. Please go on.
Good evening, ma'am. At the time you went off, I wasn't hearing anyone again. I'm sorry for the delay.
No, there's nothing to be sorry about, darling. We're here. We're
All
family.
right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. I want to appreciate this opportunity that has been given to me to speak on the issues on ground in respect to the forthcoming election. I think it's been so far so good on my side. I'm speaking from Jos, Plateau State, to be precise. The journey has been interesting. Once you're determined or you have a goal to achieve, sometimes you put away every form of distraction and every weight that is likely to pull you down just to get to the finish line. It hasn't been that easy, especially for me as a woman again from the northern part of the country. We're being faced with certain cultural beliefs, and there are kind of limitations we face as women. But sincerely speaking, I want to just thank first my husband and then the other fellow obedients that are resilient and are pushing. It keeps us going. Financially, we may not contribute, but physically, our time, our energy, and every other thing it takes, I think I've been doing it down to the grassroots level. I'm somebody who believes more in the grassroots than the city. I was in the APC before PO joined Labour Party. Why I was there was because of Osibanjo. And when he was denied the ticket, I was like, no, we can't continue on this path. This is where we must just call it, goodbye. I was holding a national position under the office of Dr. Betta, but I had to let go for PO. There are so many things we've embarked upon that ordinarily, in my wildest dream, I wouldn't have thought of, doing such things, like going to places where cars cannot reach. Sometimes we trek halfway. I have this permanent bike guy. Each time I get material, I come on space, get materials, get small resources. The next thing I'm off, to the villages where there's no even network, the roads are not motorable. You can imagine how these people have been abandoned. But when it is time for election, materials get there, ballot boxes get there, and after that, these people are left behind. These are my own people. And we cannot just assume they understand all it takes to vote for PO. These are people that are already used to the common logo. They know the broom and the umbrella. So it requires a lot of patience, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of time to be going there. Unfortunately, these villages are quite far from the city, but then we have not given up. Why am I bringing all this? It's just to say a big thank you to those that have been contributing in one way or the other. Indirectly, it gets to us, and then we take it down to the villages. This election, we must just win. There's this kind of victory you get that even when you fail, you still feel fulfilled because you have done your best. So if at all for nothing, let's at the end of the day say we have done our best. And to us, that also means victory. But then we will still get to the final line, to the finish line. Let's just keep persevering. Let's be consistent. Let's be persistent. It is not easy. I don't know how it is on your side, but for me, it has not been easy because my target is for people that don't have access to television. They don't see our logo. They only hear about it on radio. Seeing is different from hearing. So we go down to these people. If you follow me on Twitter, you see what we've been doing, and it's been an exciting journey. Let's just continue. For those that have the resources, keep supporting this movement. Those that have the time, don't give up. Keep doing. You will not believe, there was a time I went to a village. I just jokingly took a video of that terrain. I posted it on Twitter. It went viral. And then this INEC staff saw it. He reached out to me. He was like, these people you go to sensitize, do they have PVCs? I was like, no, I was able to get their data, people that don't have PVCs. He told me, bring the list. He sorted out these PVCs for me, 382. He gave it to me, and I had to travel back to that village to distribute these PVCs to the rightful owners. And that is what we've been doing lately, PVC drive. Otherwise, all of our efforts will just go like that. We need materials. We don't even go in our numbers because of the distance and then the nature of the road. And because there's no support, I just go on motorcycle. This is somewhere that is hours away from Jos. But then the gospel of the obedience movement must be preached. All it takes, we should do it. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Soon we will get to the finish line. Before I drop, I want to make a request. My request is rapper. This are Labour Party rapper. Even if it is just 1 yard, I'm begging, I need it. I want to shine with that rapper. I need it for my own self. I might be selfish, but that is just a plea. For every other thing, we're doing our best, we're pushing, and we will succeed come February 25th. Thank you very much for the time. I yield.
Oh, thank you profoundly, Rhoda. You've just put a smile on my face. Thank you. Earlier today, you reached out, and it's when I heard your voice, although I've never met you, I could connect that, oh, I received a message from you. Well done. I hear courage of conviction again from all the actions you have described. You travel those distances on Okada. You risk your own life because you believe in the message of Mr. Peter Obi and his deputy, Senator Baba-Ahmed. You have pushed to the point where you were able to retrieve 382 PVCs, and you took that responsibility of going back to distribute these PVCs because you put out your message and inspired the INEC official who extended a helping hand. Well done. You know, every time we congregate on these Fridays, we draw inspiration from each other. And today your story has truly inspired. Well done. But for your courage of conviction, yet again, you wouldn't travel this distance. You wouldn't travel this far. You wouldn't risk your own safety. Just so the birth of a new Nigeria will be possible in our lifetimes. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, I hear you. Your request for a rapper branded in LP logos, I will pass along and will ensure that you receive one. Thank you and well done. The journey indeed seems far, but we're inching closer. And yes, victory is at hand. Thank you. By a show of hands, feel free to make a donation or share your experiences on the field. Is how we draw inspiration from each other every Friday. We are one big happy family. And we keep our eyes on the goal. No distractions, as Rhoda rightly said. We keep our eyes on the goal. By a show of hands, please feel free to share with us words of inspiration, to share with us your experiences on the field, to share with us your contributions to the campaign. And yes, I remind us again, no amount is too small. No amount is too small. Every little counts. Feel free by a show of hands, and your mic will be unmuted and you would have the floor. It's how we draw strength, it's how we draw inspiration from each other. We're one big happy family. Feel free by a show of hands. Again, our account details are on the screen. Feel free to make a donation to either our Zenith, Sterling, Heritage, or Globus Bank accounts displayed on the screen. Feel free to make a donation. No amount is too small. The single largest donation is 50 million, and no amount is too small.
Yes, no amount is too small. While we wait for others to raise their hands, I want to really comment in the chat box. We have Cynthia Gaia. She says the following: I've never been a person interested in politics, but the way Nigeria is currently going, I have flung myself deeply into politics. We all need to put our hands on deck to ensure this country is rescued. If we don't get it right now, I fear for the future of our children. It is not everyone who has the opportunity to jabba. Even those who have jabbered, not all of them are enjoying it. We need to ensure those who have their PVCs actually vote. I love you all for the good. We all keep trying, and for the good, I'll keep trying my little way to contribute financially and socially. This is from Cynthia Gaia. And Matthew Emone now is saying, this is my first time to participate in politics. Winning is sure. Please raise your hand if you have something to say, to contribute, to donate, or to inspire people to do so as well. Over to you, Dudu. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia Gaia, for your beautiful message. And yes, we love you too. Victory is ours come February 25th. If you have made a donation, I would add, and haven't heard your name or donation called out, is because Aisha is yet to join us. And we know why, because it has been a busy time for our campaign and she's deeply involved. So it's the reason why she's not here today. To be the first time, and it's not yet 9, so she just might catch up with us before the meeting runs out. Century, please, I can see Sandra Uko. She has her hand up.
Yes, I want to appreciate you guys and also say you guys are doing a great work. This is my first time to get so involved with politics. And all I see is winning all the way. You guys are doing a great job for coming together and putting this together. And posterity will bless you. And whatever we need to do, I would put my own contribution in this account. But I also want to say you guys are doing a good job. And what we look forward to is a success at the end of it all. Thank you so much.
Thank you profoundly, Sandra. Thank you. And yes, no amount is too small. Remember that. Century, we have Simeon E. Kindly unmute Simeon E's mic. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, all.
Good evening, Simeon. You have the floor.
Okay, I was just looking at Twitter and I saw this group. I decided to join. I haven't been involved fully, honestly, with the P2P movement, but I've been following up. I'm a civil servant. I've not been, except for yesterday, when I went and joined the campaign that happened in Enugu. You know, I was touched and I felt like I needed to be more active in what is happening. And just to be active, I was just thinking of an idea that I think might be useful, you know, aside my donation, which I'm hoping to do before the month runs up. I'm thinking if, because towards the ending of this election, towards the tail end in February, you know, 10 days or so, about that, we'll need to have more momentum, you know, to be able to push more. Sometimes people get tired towards the ending, but we need to, at this time, we also need to improve on the movement as much as we can. And I'm suggesting, just as 1 Million March started this revolution,
can we do an idea in such a way that we can raise a campaign? I say 1 million people pay 1,000 each. Just everybody, 1,000 is enough so that people can just easily transfer 1,000 without having to peg anything. If there is a campaign, I don't know whether there's any of that such nature, saying, okay, 1,000, just give us 1,000. You know, as small as 1,000 is okay. 1 million man, 1,000 per person, and then push the campaign on Twitter, make it trend, you know, as much as we can. At the end of the day, we might get more than that or might get lower. But if people understand that they can, their 1,000, as little as 1,000 that they have is what is required, you know, people would be, it would be easier for people to say, okay, let me just go and give that 1,000 and say, okay, I'm giving that 1,000 and I'm fine that I was part of the movement in one way or the other. Because I know there's a number of people out there who they know they would vote, but they've not actually done anything. Me, I'm not someone who will go out sketch and start campaigning because I live in the town. You know, I go to work every day, and for me, I would prefer to do donations, and which is what I'm going to do eventually. But I also know that there are people like me who possibly will just have that little amount. But that campaign needs to also go out so that we can get everybody involved. Everybody that is saying that we need P2B to win. Your 1,000 is big enough to actually make that difference. Thank you.
Thank you profoundly, Simeon. Indeed, we all have a role to play in this campaign. And like you rightly said, Enugu rally was what inspired you to pay more attention to what is happening. And yes, some of us that didn't travel watched videos. And when we started, we shared experiences of how Enugu did something to us. There was a shift watching the videos that came through from Enugu yesterday. It was, the victory was palpable. You could see, you could sense hope, you could feel it. You could see in the eyes of the people that gathered on those grounds. Their joy and excitement came through, and it meant one thing. It meant hope. They could see hope, and they could see hope in Mr. Peter Obi and his deputy, Senator Detti. Yes, if your role is to make a contribution, so Rhoda can carry materials to those areas where she goes for mobilization and canvass for votes, it's also important. The campaign draws from all these energies. Those who can contribute, make a donation. Those who can carry the message using our materials to go campaign, go further. So yes, we're happy to receive any amount. No amount is too small. And thank you once again for inspiring us with your words. Century, we have Onwabweze Agi Otto. Kindly unmute his mic.
Good evening, all.
Good evening, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I was in Enugu yesterday. I reside in Port Harcourt, so I missed Peter B when he was in Port Harcourt. So I was so glad when I met him because I'm doing a postgraduate program in Enugu, but I vote in Port Harcourt. So I really like to have a contact of the first man that spoke, so I can join the Port Harcourt group because I vote in Port Harcourt. My family is in Port Harcourt. But I was so glad when I saw him live yesterday. I made a donation about a month ago of 5,000 naira because then I wasn't too sure of the account number. You know, there are a lot of scam. So I got an email.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got an email confirming my donation and thanking me for my donation. So that made me trust the account number. So I'm going to make more donations as the time go on. So I really like to have the Port Harcourt contact because I'm just in Enugu for my postgraduate program. My family, my children are all in Port Harcourt. Once it's close to the election time, I will move over to Port Harcourt. And what I'm trying to do now, because I'm a working class postgraduate student, I've noticed that some undergraduates have this challenge that once it's close to election, some of them, because of the ASU strike, they registered at home. So they are fear, because I was in the crowd yesterday when it came to the business school hall, because I stay in the business school hostel. So it was easy for me to just come in from the accommodation area to the conference hall. So I heard some undergraduates complaining about what will happen to them when is that election weekend. That election weekend, because finances and being undergraduates. So I'm trying to set up something that will support the ones I'm sure we vote for, which I know my majority. I'm trying to set up something that will enable some of them go back home that weekend, because they're not sure their parents will be able, or maybe they won't have the money. So I'm trying to set up something with a few friends in UNEC here in Enugu campus, that's University of Nigeria Enugu campus, so that we can see to it that they have this little 1,000, 2,000 to just go back that weekend, make sure they vote, and come back to school on Sunday or days after. So that's my own contribution. I will make sure that I support enough students as I can support financially to go back home and vote. Because most of them registered at home. Some even stay as far as Lagos. So they are worried that because of transport, they might not be able to go back to vote when it's election. But I and my friends here will make sure we support as many people as we can to make sure they go and vote. Because this Obidati stuff is not for me, but for my children. I have children that will soon be writing JAMB. I don't want them to come spend 10, 15 years in the university for a 4 years program. So this OB movement is life to me. It's life. It's just the only option we have in this country. So that I don't start taking my family out of this country like others are doing. Because I still believe in Nigeria. I still believe we have the potential. We just need someone to push us in the right direction. So I'm really happy. Thank you all.
Thank you profoundly, Nwabweze. Again, you've reiterated the point. We gather here, not for Mr. Peter Obi, but for ourselves, our children, and unborn children. Thank you. Your contribution to send those who would not be able to afford to go home and vote in paying their transport fare is as important. Thank you, and well done for your commitment. Thank you. Century, I can see Maureen Kabruk has her hand up. If you can please unmute her mic, thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good
Thanks
evening.
Well done, Dudu. Well done, Century. Century, as your name suggests, this whole engine room that you guys manage, yourself and Dudu, will be remembered for centuries to come in the history of Nigeria, that there came a time where we were all required to stand up and be counted. And you played your role, Century, by being at the engine room of organizing something like this, where we can all come together on a platform like this to make our contributions, either financially or by just encouraging each other on this journey that we all have jumped onto the Peter Obi and Datti's ship that is taking us to the Nigeria that we all dream and yearn for. I requested for this mic specifically because of Rhoda. I have heard Rhoda speak on so many platforms on Twitter. I don't know how she does it, but I have wished that I would have an opportunity someday just to show appreciation to Madame Rhoda, just to encourage Madame Rhoda, that people like her are the reason why hope will never fade in our lifetime. That people like her that go about, sharing and giving hope to people who have all lost hope is the reason why we all can hope and dream for a better Nigeria, which we all know will happen because of the work that the likes of Madam Rhoda are putting in. It is unbelievable and amazing to see the enormous work that you put in this campaign. And it is all coming from a place of you scrutinizing the three candidates, the major candidates, the three major candidates of these three major parties. You could as well have chosen any of the other ones, but you chose to pitch your tent with Peter Obi. I don't think you've ever met Peter Obi. I don't think so. But there is a message that he brings that made you put yourself out there, that made you every day you wake up, the minute you're done doing your morning routine, the next thing I see you do is you jump on Okada. On this same Okada, you once had an accident, of which people weren't sure whether Madam Rhoda was going to be able to get well and carry on with her good work. And I should think by the next day, you were back again. And the places you go to is the story of Nigeria that I see. And what I see is nothing but what we have gotten for the past 60 years of our independence, the product of bad governance, because you are constantly having to move on roads that are practically inaccessible. You're moving through bushes. Sometimes you have to maybe cross through some small channels of water. And you see people having their bath, you see people washing their clothes in streams. And when you go through all of this length, and sometimes I ask myself, what drives Madam Rhoda? You leave your home and you take on this dangerous route where anything can go wrong. You risk it all because you want to see a Nigeria that works. And indeed, you will leave. You must leave. The universe must give you that life to live on this earth, to see a Nigeria that will work in your lifetime. Same with every other obedient who have stayed obedient to this cause, who have stayed obedient to that one fact that yes, we can. To the entire obedient family members that are on this platform, let nobody tell you you can't. As Bennett Shaw once said, those who say it cannot be done shall not interrupt those who say it can be done. And you will be remembered for standing up to say you can do it. And you are not just only showing that you can do it, you are actually putting in the work, your resources, your time. You can't place a value on the time that you all have committed to the cause of this campaign. If we were to evaluate it and put a price to it, it would be practically impossible. But you know what the price is? The price is a better, safe, and secure Nigeria for you, myself, every other person, even to those who do not believe in the cause of Peter Obi. It is for our own good that this is happening. At a time like this, you decided that you will give your energy, you will give your resources to this movement. Madam Rhoda, thank you. Madam Rhoda, God bless you. For all those who are also the likes of the Madam Rhodas, we see you. We see your work. Posterity will be kind to you all. And we will all gather here when the votes are finally counted, whether it is going to be 26th or 27th, where Peter Obi will be declared as the president of this country. we will come back here
Amen.
to cheer
Thank you,
and
Bharat.
tap ourselves
Oh, yeah.
and say thank you
Oh,
once
yeah.
again to all of us.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone.
Well done too, Bharat. Thank you. And yes, thank you for highlighting the enormous contribution of Century. Indeed, this platform is the engine room that runs it. Thank you, Century. We're grateful. Please, can you unmute Galaxy 10? So we have Galaxy 10 and Sandra, then we close for the night.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, my fellow obedience. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can. Carry on, carry on.
Okay, my name is Paul. Sorry, I didn't actually put my name, and then it's showing Galaxy. I want to thank everybody, like every other person that has spoken has said. I want to thank everybody for all the contribution, for all the selfless contribution towards saving our great nation. I am happy that this is happening on time, and we are doing all this to save this country for the future generation. I am praying that our labor will not be in vain, that God will crown all this struggle with success. I've actually contributed on this platform. I've also made some of my friends to contribute. So some of them are doing weekly contributions, and some other ones are doing monthly. What I would say is that the contribution will continue. For me, maybe by next week, I'll also make some more contribution on this platform. There is something I noticed. This Christmas, I traveled to the Southeast, which is where I came from. And apart from having contributed to the Labour Party in my community to establish Labour Party and also to see that there's a structure there, I had to, on my own, gather the youths of the community. So I brought them to my house, and then I had conversation with them. So they are all obedient, and they are happy to work for the Obidati campaign. Now the challenge is they've complained that the elderly women, the mothers in the village, they want to vote Obi, but they don't know the logo or how they are going to do it. All they know for now is umbrella and broom. So that shows that we need to now massively start doing door-to-door campaign. What I've done on my own is through the Labour Party chairman in my ward, to send money for them to print stickers and the ballot paper, where that ballot paper that shows sign of a Labour Party, how to vote and all that. Hopefully by next week, that will be available for the entire local government. We need to share it to the whole local government from where I came from. And then I will also have to bring back the use again to now start using that to go house by house in the local communities to stick those stickers and then talk to the mothers and show them exactly where they will be thumb printing during the election. And I want to bring this up here so that the team who speaks to the PCC team will also try to, mention this to them. I know they are aware of it, but let's make sure that we sensitize people. We do door to door. We talk to people, because there are a lot of votes for Obi that might go to the wrong place if we don't get them, if we don't have it properly. So in as much as we are bringing in new ones, the ones that believe in Obi already, let's educate them to make sure that they know where to vote, so that we don't lose those precious votes on the election day. Having said that, I want to say thank you to everyone, and I want to encourage everybody. Please, let's keep the fire, let's keep the flame, let's continue to push. I am sure that victory will come at last. One thing I know for sure is that all the people that I've talked to, nobody has said Obi is a bad material. But it's just bigotry and religious inclinations and all that. That is a problem, which I don't think should be a problem. But we are where we are. We just continue to push. And again, another thing the PCC team need to look at is how do we work against this vote buying? Because I know I've spoken to some APC stalwarts in this town, in this Lagos where I am, and they are banking on buying votes. That's the truth. So they are not worried too much that we are making waves, or their last resort is that they're going to buy over the votes on the election day, and people will vote them. How do we counter this vote buying? Because Nigerians are hungry. If you give them money, they will change their loyalty, a lot of them. What do we do? From the team up there, they need to come up with a strategy to help all of us and cascade that to all of us so that we know what to look out for and what to do on the election day to stop, this vote buying, because that's another weapon they want to use to maybe, let me use the word, rig out Obi in this forthcoming election. Thank you very much. So my contribution will come next week. I'll make another contribution next week. Yeah.
Thank you profoundly, Paul. We appreciate you. We'll call on the last speaker for the day. That'll be Sandra Uko.
Thank
Century.
you so much. That was a great contribution from the other guy. And I want to say that how do we get the logo so that everybody becomes a representative to print it out and make sure it is disseminated? And also because of the confusion already going on, they are bringing the former flyer of Atiku and Obi, which is the umbrella that a lot of people, all this, the Northerners. So I'm thinking maybe ambassadors can be raised from each village, each locality, because if we say we want to get to every nook and cranny, it might be difficult because the time is so short. If you can get an ambassador, someone to represent from each locality, you send them materials to print, and they have a t-shirt, a logo, and below the line advertisement will do, maybe pen, t-shirts, face cap or something to reach out to everyone. Because, as much as we are speaking as the elite, I'm in the US, and I found out that we have this, what you call the Nigerian Ministers Forum. One of the ministers spoke and said, what I do with everyone I'm sponsoring in Nigeria, I make it a mandatory that as soon as you get my money, you must vote obedient. And he spoke so well about Peter Obi that God is raising just one man, and that one man is Peter, the obedient family. And he spoke as he told everybody in the diaspora that if you have families and members you give money to, start calling them. If they're not obedient, they stop collecting money from you, so that everybody can align. And I think this is a great move. If you keep this, I know that God is not sleeping. God will crown our efforts with great success. Let's all, get involved, printing of flyers and everything, because the people in the villages are the ones that will go out that day. The ones they know is what they will push. But as long as we pray and we push below the line items, things that they can see, t-shirts, banners, I know that we might not be able to do billboard everywhere, but those little things of one naira or something, pure water, branding pure water, or doing stuff that will make everyone get this information so that we can keep pushing. Thank you so much for all you do, and posterity and God himself will bless your efforts.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for your contribution. And thank you. If you have made a donation today, I will repeat, and haven't heard your donation reeled out, again, Aisha wasn't able to join us because we know how travels have been for them lately. But hopefully next week, she would reel out all the donations that came through in her absence. As we close tonight, I want us to reflect on these words. We have made it against all odds through what is now our 8th Obidati campaign fundraiser. If you believe, it's important to remind us that a little under 7 months ago, most of us who congregate here were strangers. We didn't know ourselves. But we've not gathered here to know our names. We've not even gathered here for Mr. Peter Obi. We congregate and will continue to congregate for a functional new Nigeria that is now more than ever possible. It's now 43 days to go. And in the life of a general elections, trust me, it is a long time. Let's keep the flag flying as we've always done. Let's keep hope alive because it is all we have. Let us together make a new Nigeria possible. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you profoundly for joining the 8th fundraiser of our Obidati campaign. And as we close tonight, I will please call on Century to unmute everyone. So we sing the first stanza of our national anthem as we bid each other good night. Century, please unmute everyone. Century. Century, if you can hear me, please unmute everyone so we can sing the first stanza of our national anthem as we close. Are we good to go?
Yes, we're good to go.
Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise, oh,
the name of our heroes past will never be
one nation, freedom, and unity. Yippee! Thank you, everyone, and have a good night rest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you too.